Many of you guys asked me, what do I do with ELA for my classes, or what programs do I use in my own classroom? So the first one that I use is called Tumblebooks, and you may have heard of it. I know our school looks to use that one a lot for an outside resource instead of AR. But for those of you that do not know what it is, this is how I'll get my students to log in, and I'll talk you through what I do at each step. So the first thing I do is have the students go to the F1S schools page, click I am, and then go to a student, then click Student Digital Resources. From here, they scroll down until they see the word Discus, then they click it and go to Discus Kids. Now, Tumblebooks is all the way at the bottom, and then here I click. This gets you logged in, password, login, all of that's included with Discus. So what I do is I have my students pick a book that they find interesting, either based off the cover, maybe the same author, things like that. There's a lot of different ways we can select books. So one book I like is How I Became a Pirate. We've had this author come to our school before, so I do like reading her. So I have the students click on this page, and this is how I start looking, especially with my students who are reading below grade level, that I need to do my lap folders with. I have them select a book. Here we can look at their reading level and see if it's on their reading level based off of what we have for a ZPD for AR. If it's not on their reading level and they have met their AR goal, I let them still read it with me. If they have not met their AR goal, it shows me that they're not reading either on their own or struggling with their reading level. So I don't let them choose books out of their level. However, this is what I would do if a student could read this particular book. So it's also looking at their Lexile scores. For us, we do DRA, so it's a little bit different. But I can take this Lexile score here and compare it to what it would be on a DRA and actually do a running record with this as students are reading. So what I would do is have the student read the book with me. As the student is reading, I might stop them, ask questions about sequencing, summarizing, maybe the section that they just read, all of that. And the best thing I like about this is quizzes and games. So before I let students take an AR test on books, on Tumblebooks, I have them take the first quiz on here. So we would click the tab. They would take the full quiz or the quick quiz or both, depending on how our reading conference went and if I feel like they truly understand the book. If they do, it's the quick quiz before they take the AR test. If not, it's the full quiz and then the quick quiz, just a review of the story. So I mainly use Tumblebooks with reading conferences, talking about students with their reading levels, and then using it as a way to assess if they actually read the book before they take an AR quiz. So again, this is Tumblebooks. That's kind of how I use it. I also like to use this for my EL learners a lot because there's the option, especially for our Hispanic learners, there's an option for books that are in Spanish, still encouraging them to read even if it is in Spanish and not always in English. So I like the variety that Tumblebooks also gives me. And that's about it. That's the very first one I kind of use for ELA to help with students reading and to help me see if the reading level is really showing what the students can do if they're having a happy click day on the AR program. So that's how I use Tumblebooks.